Are you gonna do yoga, dude, or what? You gonna do some downward dog for me here? Huh? Are you gonna do some downward dog? You're on a yoga mat. You want a shake? I don't have anything, dude. You want something, huh? All right. I'll get you something. You're so cute, Mr. Henry. He's a good boy, this boy. Okay? Best boy in the world. Okay? All right, hey guys, welcome. So, part number 4 of 6. We're almost there. This is about this one right here. This is your blueprint for exercise success. But this one's on cardio. I even talked about a little yoga, a little Pilates, a little Tai Chi for fat loss and wellness. All right, so real quick, before I move through this slideshow, look, you guys, bowling, I don't know if that's really much exercise for me. I guess as I get older it is, but my exercise would be more like basketball, because I can run around the basketball court and I can really sweat, and even if my knees hold up, I can get a good cardio workout, right? I can get the blood flowing and get my heart pumping, get the lungs, breathing deep in my lungs and stuff, and getting all that junk out of there. Bowling, I do go bowling every week too. So Friday, actually, I played basketball on Friday, and I can only play one game because I was trying to make sure my knee wasn't too bad because I was going bowling Friday evening, right? So, but these are fun things you can do that instead of just sitting around on the couch eating bonbons, right? You're bowling. You're actually doing something, right? You're moving, right? But what I'm saying is for the cardio is like the basketball is awesome. It's a good alternative. Walking the dog, right? Every day I get to walk this dog. Now, I trust me, every day I don't want to walk the dog. My mind talks me out of it. Sit on the couch, eat bonbons, right? No, I gotta go. This dog, it's not his fault. This guy's a German Shepherd lab, so he has all this energy. Like, it's not fair. I have to throw the ball. I have to walk him twice a day, and sometimes I only get to do it a little while. I noticed that when it's time to go out and stuff, and he'll start grinding on his bone because I think he's trying to get rid of some of those nerves. But he's really cool, man. He doesn't even bug me, you guys. Like my other dog Bella, man, that dog, she was a pit bull. She used to push me in my leg, man. She used to pull. She used to be like, "Come on, you got to go." I didn't have a choice. He'll wait hours for me to take him out. I might hear him just cry just a little bit, but usually he doesn't. So my point is that you have to take him out. It's not his fault. He's stuck in the house all day. These dogs, we domesticated them. I did a video about it. It's screwed up. It's like we're domesticated. That's why we're all anxious all the time, because we're sitting inside these damn boxes, and we're supposed to be outside in nature. We're supposed to be. That's where we came from, right? So when we go out in nature, now we feel good. It's like, why is that? Because we're supposed to be in nature. Why cardio matters, okay? So cardio helps. It basically helps us torch the calories, right, and burn the fat. It boosts heart health, right? It strengthens your heart and lungs, and you can feel that, right? You can feel you coughing up all that stuff or whatever. And then it improves your cardiovascular fitness. It improves your endurance and builds stamina. There are beginner-friendly options, right? Walking, cycling, jump rope, dancing. Those are all fun, effective ways to get moving, okay? Like I was talking about before, walking the dog, basketball, right? Basically, what you want to do is you want to start small, right? Ease into it with just for about 15 or 20 minutes, okay? 2 to 3 times a week, and build up as you grow stronger. So what I've been doing is before I start working out, I've been trying to ride that bike a little bit, and then for like 15 minutes, and then I work out for an hour, okay? But then the days when I'm not doing the workout, I'll play basketball, and I'll play that for like an hour or two. So that really gets me going, right? And then also I walk the dog twice a day. So I have a lot of cardio, I think. I think I'm pretty good with the cardio. And then I found another quote. It's not about being the best. It's about being better than you were yesterday, right? So like the NFL guys say, right? 1% better every day. That's all you're trying to do. 1% better. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but the best cardio workouts, but the one that you hear about a lot, and that's what I was talking about kind of, is HIIT. It's high intensity interval training, and you can burn more or less time. So that's like when I'm doing my push-ups and my pull-ups. I'll wait 30 seconds in between reps or between sets, and then you know what happens? Now I'm building my cardio, and it's high intensity. Okay, jump rope. You know, that's another one too. Yeah, you can just sit here and jump. I want to start doing that. I haven't done that, but I don't know about my knees on that one, right? You see the old Rocky movies and stuff. Everybody's always doing the jump rope, right? Or that boxers and stuff. Running, yeah, well, that's pretty basic. You know, in my gym, what's cool is that behind around the basketball courts, they have like a little padded surface that people they jog around. So I think that's really cool because you don't hurt your knees, you know. But also when you run, you know, make sure you have good shoes, and then because your knees it'll be hard on you as you get older. And then also like cement is pounds, you know, it's really hard. So you got to have them good shoes if you'll be running outside, and then you know it's always good to run on softer surfaces if you can. So swimming, yeah, that's a great one. Some tips, okay? Add the high intensity workout 2 to 3 times, right? Okay, a week, like I said, right? And then start with the low impact, like we said. Okay, so just a couple tips, right? Just to make sure we understand, we clarify what we're reading here, right? The high intensity interval training sessions 2 to 3 times per week for faster results. Okay, so let's start. I want you guys, make sure you guys do that when you guys are starting your program here. And then start with the low impact cardio, okay? You know, especially if you have joint issues, right? Like I'm talking about. Like I do, you know, I got some issues here and there, so I have to always be mindful. Combine cardio with strength training. That is good for, you know, maximum fat loss. Okay, and then besides that, I'm gonna digress real quick. So I was at the gym yesterday, and I was thinking, God, I'm doing really good. And then I saw this other guy, and he was working real hard, right? Another guy working real hard. And then some guys are like in great shape. They're in ripped up shape. But some guys have like 40 pounds heavy, right? They're a little heavy here and there. And so you can't really see their muscles as much because the little chub on there, right? Like I used to have that, 40 pounds, 30 pounds. I didn't even think about that. Like I was walking around all these years. I didn't even know. I was like, oh yeah, I got all these muscles. No, dude. No, you're 40 pounds heavy, bro. It's all depends on what you eat, right? Because those guys in the movies and stuff that are shredded, you know, yeah, they cut for a couple weeks before they shoot in movies. That's why when you see them with their shirts off, you know, they're freaking ripped. You know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give any medical advice, but you know, obviously, you know, when you start exercising, start doing cardio and stuff, you know, you're probably gonna improve your health, right? And one of the studies says that regular exercise can reverse up to 20 years of heart aging. So it recommends a routine that includes moderate and high intensity exercise. So Dr. Levine's exercise prescription is 2 to 3 days of moderate intensity exercise, brisk walking, cycling, etc. 1 to 2 days of high intensity interval training, and then 1 day of strength training. Okay. So I think when you notice that the workout plan for beginner that I have on this that you can download, it's probably going to be kind of similar, you know, but you can also take his prescription and you can check it out. But I thought I wanted to show this because I thought this was a pretty good prescription. So the doctor also talked about this thing called VO2 max and longevity, right? And basically VO2 max is a measure of cardiovascular fitness, right? It's a strong predictor of longevity and reduced cardiovascular disease risk. Obviously, exercise improves VO2 max, boosting heart and overall health. So let's talk about the brain, right? The cognitive health, right? From exercise, right? Vigorous exercise enhances brain health by increasing blood flow. It promotes release of neurochemicals that support cognitive function. Some key takeaways are that regular varied exercise is essential for health and longevity. Okay, combining moderate, high intensity, and strength training is optimal. Exercise benefits extend to cognitive and overall well-being. So make exercise a daily priority for long-term health. I got to talk to you guys about yoga, okay? Yoga is real special to me because I had a story I talked about where I hurt both of my shoulders when I was I worked for a biscuit company. I was stocking shelf. I was a sales rep, and I hurt my shoulders, okay? And then they weren't really able to fix them, or they weren't healing because I had to keep working. So, but then I was supposed to go have surgery and all that. But I found this yoga instructor at this Gold's Gym that I was going to, and this guy had crushed his leg and wasn't supposed to be able to walk right again. And then he started doing yoga, and next thing you know, this guy is the yoga instructor. He's bending over backwards, he's running, all that. So he basically proved the doctors wrong. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, so let me try it. 2 weeks later, my shoulders were fine, both of them. I didn't have to have surgery. So yoga that was my first, the first time I learned about the power of healing. That you don't always have to go listen to the medical specialist. You can try to do it yourself too. There's ways you can do it. I don't want to give you guys advice to say don't go to the doctor. No, I'm just saying that's how I did it. That's my story, okay? So yoga is an ancient practice combining physical postures, breathing, and meditation. The goals of yoga are harmony of body, mind, and spirit. Why practice yoga? Well, it improves, just like the stretching, right? It improves your flexibility, your strength, and posture. Because all you're doing is basically yoga strengthening and stretching. That's basically what you're doing, right? And breathing. It's really good. Reduces stress and enhances mental clarity. Boosts overall health and well-being. Similar exercises. Pilates focuses on core strength, Tai Chi, gentle meditative movements. So the different kinds of yogas that they have, right? There's different kinds. One of them is called Hatha. Different types of yogas, right? One of them it's called Hatha yoga, and that's the basics and relaxation, right? Another one is called Vinyasa. And that's flowing movements. Another one is called restorative, right? That's stress relief. And then alternatives, like I was talking about, if you wanted to try other things, like I said, the Pilates or the Tai Chi, are good options too. I've heard a lot about those. I've never tried those, but I've heard about them. So the Pilates, right? It's low impact and it focuses on core strength, flexibility, and posture, right? It uses precise movements and breathing for a full body workout, often with equipment like the reformer or just a mat. It's great for toning, balance, and stress relief. Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art, often called meditation in motion. Okay, so the physical benefits of yoga, right? It improves flexibility, strength, and coordination. It supports chronic pain relief, and it has similar benefits from Pilates and resisted stretching. So easy ways to begin, right? Just try beginner-friendly yoga or Pilates classes. Use online resources for guided sessions. Or you can even do, like I said, you can do the video, the Jillian Michaels Yoga Meltdown. You can do the basic one. It says dedicate 10 to 15 minutes daily, but maybe with her, that might be 20 minutes for that one. But it'd be worth it to try that one. That'll get you really strong. You can also find a yoga class locally, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you get to be in your 60s and stuff like that, yoga, God, if you're doing yoga, you're still going to be super strong, when you're older. So, anyway, okay, I fucked that one. I digressed again. So I found a quote on yoga. It says, yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Okay, well, I'll let you guys ponder on that one. I think I know what that means a little bit. Journey of the self. So journey of myself, right? Through myself, right? To myself, right? So I guess it's basically you're starting to understand yourself now. Like when I do meditation, it really helps me. That makes more sense because when you meditate, you stop thinking, and then you allow yourself to think without bringing any intrusive thoughts. So basically, you're not thinking, but thoughts can freely flow. So then, therefore, when you're not thinking, now all of a sudden a thought hits you. You're like, whoa, and it was the greatest thought. I don't know, maybe that's what they're talking about, maybe not, but that's kind of what I got out of it. So if you guys know what they're saying on that one, please leave a message in the comments. I would love to know. But that's what I think. Maybe you're talking about like your mind or something. All right, thank you guys for watching this. Subscribe and have a great day.